Welcome to Fighting Saints Weekly. It's another week and another 2 points in the books for the Fighting Saints. Hi, everybody. Jordan Coons with you. And after what was a 6-3 victory over the Madison Capitals on Military Appreciation Night, a great night from start to finish. It was something that was just a special night where we gave thanks to those that serve the military for this country and really allow us to do what we do. And we're really happy that we had the opportunity to do that. We also had the auction after the game, which benefited the Veterans Freedom Center right down the street, and a great turnout, and everyone's sweater went for some good money. So the opportunity for us to do that was outstanding. We also had a swear-in ceremony for some cadets going into the armed forces and one back from the Coast Guard looking to re-enlist as well. So just a great night from start to finish for Military Appreciation Night. We're more than happy to do that for our soldiers, and we really thank them for what they do and allow us to be us here at home. And we know that, especially with the most past events over in Paris, that we know that how important that our first responders even, or our military, is so important. So it is further highlighted in that respect. But a 6-3 victory over the Madison Capitals this past week was an outstanding one. It was just the second win this season that the Fighting Saints have defeated their opponent by more than one goal. And the Fighting Saints got off to a big 4-0 lead and did end up with the 6-3 victory. The highlights coming up in just a bit. But one of the more pressing things coming up now is on November the 28th. We have our celebration of No Shave November. I'm growing it out the whole month. It's not going anywhere until December the 1st. But we have that coming up, and we will chat with Unity Point Health Findlay Hospital as well later in this show. And we'll also chat with the new minted USHL Forward of the Week. We'll chat with him and then look ahead to what is the auction, the special auction for more uniforms coming up on November the 28th. Special start, and then looking ahead to what is the weekend in Muskegon. So plenty to get to here on Fighting Saints Weekly, and we will chat about that. But first, we head off to Unity Point Health Findlay Hospital and the Wendt Regional Cancer Center for this upcoming segment. We're here at the Wendt Regional Cancer Center here at Unity Point Health Findlay Hospital here in Dubuque. I'm Jordan Coons, and I'm joined by Mike Kelly, who's the director of the Wendt Regional Cancer Center right here. And we've got a special event coming up, which we'll get to in a second. But the big thing here is that we're raising awareness of men's health and men's cancer initiatives here. And while cancer does not discriminate between men and women, what is a clear message that you would say about men's cancer here so far?
Well, it's one of the things about men cancer is, men are usually macho and tough, and, it's one of those things that they don't go to the doctors as much, and they don't necessarily follow the rules as well as women do. So we just thought that this would be a very good month to try to raise awareness for male cancers.
We are participating, as you can clearly see with me. I've got the beard going. We all do in the office. The players do, and it's something that has been the thing. The No Shave November is the one thing that raises the most awareness. And one of the things that you guys are doing is Grow Your Mo. You want to talk a little bit about what that's all about? Yeah,
the Grow Your Mo event is to try and get the hospital staff as well as just the general community involved in that as well. And what you can do is grow a mustache or a beard. And then what we're asking is that they put that on the Unity Point Health Findlay Facebook page. And for the first 200 people that do that, David Brandon, President and CEO of Findlay Hospital, will donate a dollar for each, up to $200 to the Wendt Center patients.
Now, when you think of a men's cancer, prostate cancer is the one that comes up the most, but another one that seemingly is universal in any way, and one that is really, really bad, is colon cancer.
Yes, colon cancer is right up there with lung cancer as well. And both of them, as you said to start with, do not discriminate. Obviously, we're talking about men's cancer awareness, but women pretty much equally right across the board. There's about 250,000 new cases of colon cancer for men and women, and pretty much the same numbers for lung cancer as well.
So many different things with cancers across both genders. Here we're focusing on the awareness of what men's cancer and men's health awareness and all of that. So it's one thing where checkups are certainly a thing that can be done with your physician or even here, but what are some tips perhaps to, if you believe that there is indeed a problem, what the process would be?
Well, one of the things you really do want to do, as I kind of alluded to start with, is definitely see your PCP, which is your primary care physician, because there are basically standards out there that he would know that, sometimes depending on your age, your sex, family history, it might be one of those things that you in particularly would be more inclined or should, get some testing done in anticipation of that happening.
The emotional side of it is also something that comes into play here. There's so many different options and so many routes you can go, but what here at Wendt Regional Cancer Center, in an emotional sense and in a treatment sense, do you provide?
We've got a wonderful staff here. We treat pretty much across the board 50% men, 50% women. But one of the things that I don't think a lot of people understand is, radiation therapy. And radiation, as a rule, most people think of radiation as bad, but when it's controlled and it's used in the fashion that we do, it is actually it's friendly and it's an ally. So with prostate cancer in particular, it's very well known that surgery is a very good option, but in certain instances, radiation is as good, if not better. So that's one of those, I think, good kept secrets that really needs to get out there, is that, radiation can be used in a useful manner.
The one thing that the Saints will be doing on the 28th against the Chicago Steel is the celebration of No Shave November with special jerseys that will be auctioned off after the game, which will benefit the Findlay Health Foundation as well as the Wendt Regional Cancer Center. We're looking forward to that quite a bit, but that's an event coming up here in partnership with the Wendt Regional Cancer Center and Unity Point Health Findlay Hospital that we're really looking forward to. But what about it sticks out to you that we're looking to get across here?
Well, it's just we really want to get the community involved. So it'll be a great night. It'll be fun. It's the Saturday after Thanksgiving, a lot of people around. So we want to just get a large number of people down there. So really basically, and some of the funds, like you had said, from the jersey sales, as well as some of the money from the ticket sales as well.
Well, Mike, thanks for this.
Oh, you're very welcome. Thank you.
Only one game on the docket this past weekend, and it was the second home game in a row for the Dubuque Fighting Saints, this time against the Madison Capitals on Friday night. Dubuque would start the scoring. A gorgeous little give and go at the front of the net results in Nathan Soucy stashing home the rebound, his fifth goal of the season. 1-0 Fighting Saints just 5 minutes in. The relentless pressure would not cease. After a steal along the far side half wall by Evan Smith, his pass to Gordy Green, the resident dishmaster all of a sudden found Mitchell Smith on the weak side. He punched home his fifth goal of the year at the 14-minute mark. Didn't take the Fighting Saints very long to tack on another one. 1 minute, 3 seconds later, Willie Needham kept his recent hot streak going with a dirty but good goal at the side of the net off a feed from Dallas Gerads. That would spell the end of the night for Madison starting goalie Garrett Metcalf. Dubuque would then lead 3-0. Too bad the Saints didn't take too kindly to a new goaltender, as 2 minutes later, Casey Johnson struck. Here's the call of the week.
43 seconds left on the power play here. It's brought by Casey Johnson and led up the wing to Nathan Soucy across the line. Got through two. Soucy along the goal line. Centering pass. Great look. Score! Casey Johnson! And there it is! The power play streak is over! A power play goal for Casey Johnson, and the Saints have put up a 4 spot here in the first period.
Madison got some life after a Ryan Lowen centering pass found Sam McCormick out in front 5 minutes into the second period. He roofed a shot into the net, and Dubuque, however, would continue to lead by 3, 4-1 the score. That would be the only goal of the second period until the floodgates opened in the third. Keegan Ford's wrister continued the power play's resurgence as Mitchell Smith deflected his second goal of the game into the net, this time through Edquist. 5-1 Saints. But who else but Guillaume Leclerc would respond for Madison just a few minutes later, his 10th point in 9 games against the Saints, taking a pass from Harold Egla, directing the puck in. 5-2 Dubuque. Then right back at you, Mitchell Smith completes the hat trick and his nomination as USHL Forward of the Week off a feed from his brother Evan. First try failed, second try did not. 6-2 Saints. Madison capped the scoring with Etu Solani, again off a look from Harold Zegla. They would tack on this late goal, but that's all, folks. Final score from the Muskegon Community Ice Center, 6-3. Dubuque Fighting Saints pick up the win on the only game of the past weekend. Joined now by the reigning USHL Forward of the Week. His name is Mitchell Smith, one of 3 Canadians on the team, but that's just one of the little caveats. Anyway, a hat trick on Friday, and they say that finishers finish. And with all 3 of those goals, you were the recipient of a nice little finish at the end of it all.
Yeah, I have to give a lot of credit to my line mates. I know the first goal was set up by Gordy, and it was a backdoor, and the third goal as well was set up by Evan, which was another backdoor. And the second one, Keegan had a nice shot, and I just got my stick on it.
So a month to the day, that being October 16th, your twin brother Evan ended up with this honor. You get it, and you both get it in the exact same fashion. Could you have ever thought that at the beginning of the year?
No, never. After Evan got his hat trick, I was happy for him. And then coming into this game, I had 2 goals going in, and then there's still 10 minutes on the clock or so, and got another backdoor, which finished it off.
At the beginning of the year, I remember looking at this. You had, I think it was 1 goal on 30 shots or something like that. You were an analytics darling, but with the progression of the season, it just seems getting better and better. Now you lead the team in points. What's it been from that point to this point here?
I was never worried about shots or anything like that. I was just trying to play my best, and I got a lot of shots going, and I knew eventually a bunch of them had to go in.
Muskegon is the matchup for this upcoming weekend. Plenty of history between this team and Muskegon as well. You think there's going to be any carryover from this past spring?
Absolutely. We left that Muskegon series kind of disappointed because we weren't happy with the way it left off. So going back to Muskegon, there'll be a lot of rivalry and another good matchup.
I must ask you the question because we are indeed taking part in No Shave November. It appears you are as well. I know I am. What is that biggest carryover that emotionally it must be difficult? You get all that pent-up emotion after losing that series. How do you control that the coming weekend?
We dealt with that, after the loss on the playoff, and it was hard. So we just gotta go into this game even-keeled, not let our heads get too high, so we're taking penalties or anything like that, because we've been on that end, and they've capitalized other teams on power play. So we just got to keep even-keeled and just do what we can.
Is there a legitimate rivalry between you and Evan now that you two have gotten forward of the week and you're just about close in points?
There's always been a little competitiveness. Just growing up, always playing on the same team, he gets more points, but it's all friendly on the same line, so we just make fun of each other.
Thanks for this, Mitchell.
Thank you.
So up next for the Dubuque Fighting Saints is a trip to Muskegon. It's a rematch of the Eastern Conference Final of last season. 2 teams that, well, while the Muskegon side of things don't look the same at all, the Fighting Saints do indeed. I don't know if there's going to be any residual feelings after that matchup, but we're looking forward to a good matchup between the 2 teams this weekend. Those will be 6:15 starts because it is over on the Eastern time zone. So look forward to that. Be on the air on Super Hits 106 at about 6 o'clock. So just look forward to that on the Eastern time zone. That makes things an hour earlier here in the Central. So interesting matchup between those 2, and of course after a couple other road games, that being Wednesday in Green Bay and then Friday against Chicago on the road. Fighting Saints return home on November the 28th for the celebration of No Shave November, which is sponsored by Unity Point Health Finley Hospital. And that will be a special auction afterwards for special jerseys that auction afterwards to benefit the Finley Health Foundation as well as the Wendt Regional Cancer Center. So upcoming, some good events. You can catch all the action, superhits106.com, superhits 106.1 FM, as well as on Fast Hockey, the USHL streaming video provider. So plenty coming up. You can keep track of all of it on DubuqueFightingSaints.com as well as on Twitter @FightingSaints. We will keep you up to date as much as possible. Jordan Kuhn signing off from here. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you next time. And go Saints!